Without a good product, it's pretty much impossible to make money doing Amazon wholesale, which is why in this video, I'll show you how to pick your Amazon wholesale product in 7 simple steps. And using these steps, I've found products that's made me 6 figures in just 12 months. If you find any value in this video, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe, as well as turn the bell on so every time we upload, you get notified. Step 1, make sure there are 3 different sellers on a listing to avoid any private label listings. Now, when doing Amazon wholesale, yes, we're allowed to use existing listings and start selling products on those listings, but you cannot sell on every listing because some listings are owned by certain sellers and they're known as private label listings as well. And my rule of thumb to make sure it's not a private label listing is just make sure when you go in the buy box and you check the sellers, there are 3 different sellers in the buy box and all of them are selling in the new condition, not used condition, new condition. If you end up selling on a private label listing, the seller can report you to Amazon, and if you do this multiple times, your account can get suspended. And trust me, it's really hard to get your Amazon account back once it's suspended. Step 2, make sure Amazon is not on the listing, because when you sell products on Amazon and if Amazon's on the listing, it really gets hard to compete with them. Plus, Amazon goes ahead and buys that product in such high quantity from the brand directly that they can get the product for a really cheap price. So in the listing, they can undercut you and go to a price where you're not going to be profitable. And that's the reason why you should always stay away from listings with Amazon on it. Sometimes you might come across a listing where Amazon's not going to be on it, but after a few days they could jump on, and this is because they might have been on the listing but they have just run out of stock, and that's the reason why you might not see it for a few weeks and then eventually they will jump on. Now, there is one way to avoid this and I'm going to show you exactly how. When you're looking at a listing, turn on the sourcio extension and then scroll down to view or load price graph, and here you'll be able to see the price graph of this product. And after disabling all the prices, you'll be able to see that in the last 90 days Amazon has been on this listing. And if I go to 180 days, they have been on the listing. If I go 365 days, as you can see, now in the 365 days, there's something important. So Amazon was on the listing from all the way from November 2022 to around December 2022. And then all the way from January till around March, they were not on the listing. And then again, they ran out of stock and they came back on the listing. This is why it's important you make sure you do your analysis for the products thoroughly and making sure that Amazon has not been on the listing in the past, because the chances of them coming back on the listing are really high. Step 3, the product should have a minimum of 80 sales per month. If you start selling on a listing where there are 4 different Amazon FBA sellers and they're really competing with each other, then if you have less than 80 sales, buy box is being split between these 4 sellers. So our 4 sellers, if it's 80 sales, equally you will get 20 sales. But if it's lower than that, then in a month you could be getting around 10 sales, around 5 sales, which is not really worth your time or your money in a product if that product is not that profitable. If the product is profitable, you can lower the kind of band of 80 sales to maybe 60 or 70, but 80 is a good number to keep a target of. Now again, you can check this number on the sourcio extension. As you can see, the listing sales are anywhere from 93 to 198 per month. Now, because this is a range, the way I like to make sure or kind of find out the exact number is I do the average. So all I do is find the middle number of 93 and 98. Simple way to do this is 93 plus 198 divided by 2. And that's the monthly sales that would be for this specific listing. So it's definitely more than 80 for this listing, which is a good thing. Step 4 is checking the bestseller rank is below 100,000 and it's a consistent BSR or bestsellers rank. On Amazon, every single product has a bestsellers rank as long as it's making sales or it's selling. The less the BSR, the more the product is selling. The higher the BSR, the less the product is selling. So a BSR with 150,000 is selling less, or that product is selling less compared to a product with a BSR of 1,000. So that's the reason why you're always aiming for products below 100,000 BSR. Now, the reason why you're looking at a consistent BSR as well is because if the BSR is not consistent throughout the year, then it could be a seasonal product. Meaning, if you see a spike in the BSR and then the BSR has gone down and then again it's a spike for the rest of the year, it could mean that the product is only selling for a certain period of the time throughout the year and then it's not selling much. And I'll show you how to check if the BSR is consistent. For this, again, we're going to use the same example. We're going to do load price graphs once again. And here there is a bestsellers rank or sales rank graph. Now, this graph is 90 days. What we're going to do is do 365 days. And what we're looking for is a consistent BSR like this throughout the year, or at least it says from all the way from November to around, let's say November this year, or November's not here, but you can see this is consistent. The reason why this was slightly higher here is because I think the listing might have just been new, or not as much sellers would be on this listing, whereas from November 2022 it's been consistent up till September 2023. So if you see a product with, let's say, a huge spike like this, and then it's low, and then again it's a huge spike for the rest of the year, then you can know that this product is only selling throughout kind of winter time. So it might be a product related to Christmas, or it might be just product that only sells during winter. So that's the thing you need to make sure with the best sellers rank. And when you do this, you're simply avoiding all the seasonal products, because you don't want to buy or spend money in so much stock of a seasonal product that sells well throughout a small period of time, and then you're left with so much stock, with so much money held in that stock. Step number 5 is making sure the product reviews are growing, because sometimes you might come across a product listing that has 10,000 reviews, but that doesn't mean the product must be really good or it's selling well, because those 10,000 reviews might have been left on the listing. Let's say the listing was active in 2015 and the product must have received all the 10,000 reviews in the first 3 years, and after that, that product might not be selling as much at all. So if it's not growing, if the reviews are not growing, it just tells you that this product is not selling as much, or it's not selling at all. And another easy way to check if the product reviews are growing is, again, load the price graph on the sourcio extension, and if you scroll down, there is a graph for product reviews, and as you can see, in the last 90 days the reviews has been growing. This gives us an indication that this product has been consistently selling. Step number 6 is making sure the product is not oversized or hazmat. Now, as a beginner, the reason why you don't want to buy oversized products is because imagine you just have your room where you're getting the products and then you're kind of preparing them to send off to Amazon. Now, by the way, if you don't know how to send your first shipment to Amazon, I will leave a video here which you can go watch that will help you create your first shipment to send to Amazon. But anyway, in the start, you won't have so much space to store your products, or even if it's for 1 day or 2 days, you won't have that much space. Whereas if it's a smaller product, you can store 1,000 units of a smaller product in one room and not take much space. Whereas if you're storing a product which is this massive, it would hardly fit like 100 units of that product. Plus, oversized products and heavy products have higher fulfillment fees or higher Amazon FBA fees because they take more space in the Amazon fulfillment centers as well. And the reason why you want to avoid hazmat product is because some hazmat products are not allowed to be sold as FBA, because Amazon does not store them in their fulfillment centers, and the ones that you are allowed to sell, you cannot use UPS, which is a partnered courier with Amazon, which allows you to get really cheap shipping fees to ship your products to Amazon. You can't use them, and you have to use your own shipping carrier, which just adds another layer of cost, which could take away so much of your profit for that product. And you will also need to enroll into the dangerous goods program, which is another step you have to take in order for you to sell these products, which is the reason why you should try and avoid these products. Now, you can easily figure out if the product is oversized or hazmat by using the sourcio extension. As you can see, the product will have this warning sign if it has any type of warnings attached to this product. So this product, it shows is hazmat and the variation, which we'll talk about next. But you can even scroll down and go to the warning section, and here you can see this product is hazmat, but it's not oversized. If it was oversized, it would have been yes as well. Step number 7 is to make sure if a listing has multiple variation, you are looking at the right or the variation which is selling the most, because a listing might have 3 variation and you might be looking at a variation thinking, oh my lord, there is so much profit in this and there is less sellers on this listing, but that listing might not be making as many sales. Because remember, one listing with 3 variations, the reviews and everything will be the same for all 3 variations, and that's what confuses people. Now, an easy way to figure out which variation sells the most is by using the sourcio extension, and you can go to view variation sales, and as you can see, this listing has 2 variation, pack of 1 and pack of 2. Currently we're on the pack of 2 variation, so it's just going to load the data and tell us which variation is actually selling more. So these were the 7 simple steps that I go through on every single product before I go about to find the suppliers for these products. Now, if you want me to make a video on how to find profitable suppliers, then let me know in the comments and I will do that. In the meantime, go check out this video and I'll see you in the next video.